Right, let's dive into the crystal children. So the crystal children will be the generation that are born around 2000 onwards. They are called crystal children because their auras are more pearlescent and crystal-like. So you will have those pinks, those blues, those indigos, those hues, all those soft pearlescent types. So that's where the name crystal children has come from. Again, it's from their aura type. These children are extremely heart-led. So in the last videos we've done the indigos, where the indigos really carry that rebellious streak. Now the crystal children do as well, but not to the same degree that the indigos did and do. They are much softer. They are much kinder. They are much gentler. They are coming purely from a place of their heart center all of the time. They will have a huge affinity with animals and with nature. They will want to be out in nature as much as they possibly can. They will also love to collect stones and collect rocks, or if you're on the beach and you find the glass that's come from the sea, seashells, they'll collect all these little trinkets, and they absolutely also love and will collect crystals as well. They can feel the energy and they work with the energy that comes from crystals as well. Now with the indigos will have incarnated many times before. They will have many past lives. The crystal children, not so much. They will have only been here maybe once or twice before. So they carry much less karma than the indigo children. They are very much idealists. They will follow their intuition through life. They are not here about the money. Money becomes a consequence of what it is that they do. But they will very much follow their own intuition, and they will follow their knowing throughout their lives. So crystal children are normally the children of indigos. You will notice that they have, as with the rainbow children, but they have much rounder eyes than the normal eye shape. They will also have 9 times out of 10 really different beautiful colouring of their eyes as well. They are really sensitive to everything that goes on around them. These children will suffer more allergies than any generation prior. So your asthmatic children, your children that are allergic to like toxins on a higher level, everything has to be as natural as possible for especially the crystals and the rainbow children. Their tolerance is much less than any other previous generation to anything. Again, these children will prefer to have a vegetarian diet, and they will choose that themselves because they have such an affinity with nature and with animals. It absolutely breaks their heart to think that they are possibly eating an animal. And again, they will also pick up on the vibration that is coming out from the meat, and they won't want to ingest that. Now, these little darlings love to climb. They have no fear. They also have an extremely strong sense of balance. So for us mums, we're constantly walking around like this going, oh, I need to catch them. Very rarely will they fall. And I know this personally from my own boys as well. My daughter, all 3 of my kids are crystals, but with the boys and the lack of fear and the climbing, constantly walking around with my arms up like this, very rarely did they fall. Very rarely did they hurt themselves. They are almost a bit like a cat with 9 lives. They will always land on their feet. Now, these children are not aware of personal boundaries at all. They will be your children that are in the front part of the trolley, that will talk to anybody around them. They will be your children that will go running up to anyone and just give them a hug. They have got no awareness of, and this whole don't speak to strangers, it falls on deaf ears with these kids. So you do need to watch them a little bit more. But they are very open. They are very empathic. They're also extremely psychic. They are your healers. They are your energy workers. And because they feel such an affinity with us all, that's why they don't have these boundaries. Now, these children absolutely love to sing. They love to dance. They will probably be the noisiest one in the room, and yet they absolutely hate noise. They will get extremely overstimulated by noise. They will get overstimulated by smell. They will get overstimulated by textures, clothes on their skin. And a lot of the time they're also quite late speakers. They will probably be your children that are being referred to speech and language. They don't need it. They are speaking to you telepathically. Yeah, they will be speaking to you telepathically. I've often had my little one say to me, "Mummy, I need to remember to say things out loud to you because you don't always hear me." So bear these traits in mind and notice that they also sync up with traits of autism. These children will speak, and they will speak in full sentences when they start to talk, and you will go, "Where is the off switch?" Right? Because they haven't been speaking. You've been worrying about it. You've been trying to encourage them. They've been absorbing all of it, and in their own sweet time they will start to speak. Okay, so here is how I helped my autistic child. So for me to not go out and to be kept in the house as an indigo is not going to happen. But also I don't want that life for him either, where he gets so comfy in his surroundings at home. Not that I don't want him comfy at home, but I want him to also be comfy within himself, knowing that I've got his back, knowing that I'm going to support him, but to be able to go out into the big wide world as well. So get your ear defenders, cut out labels if you need to. I mean, my son actually loves a label in his jumper because then he gets to play with it. Do what it is that you need to do, but keep taking your child out. Even if you go out for small bursts of time and then take them back so that they can then regulate, but keep taking them out and about so that they get used to being around people, because get used to the noises and the sounds and the smells, because this is going to happen in life. They are going to have to be able to deal with it. So for me to be able to teach my child how to deal with that at a young age so that it becomes his normal was paramount for me. Again, with their allergies and things, they are fussy eaters. They will be the ones that will only have a beige dinner. So again, for me, my child, he actually likes quite strong tasting foods. He will eat horseradish off a teaspoon. He will eat curries. Don't get me wrong, he also loves a bit of pasta and chicken nuggets. The theme with it all is the colour is all quite beige. So get them to keep on trying, even if they eat with their noses, which my kids do. No, I'm not eating that, it smells horrible. Okay, just try a little bit. Just keep that encouraging. Don't force, never force. Encourage, back off. Encourage, back off. These kids are seeking constant autonomy all of the time. If you tell them anything, they won't have it. And this is what happens in schools as well. They prefer to learn on their own, in their own way, about things that are interesting to them. So keep sowing the seeds all of the time. When it comes to health, as in like they've got poorly, medicine, try and use as natural remedies as you possibly can. Dive into your buck remedies, dive into your essential oils, dive into whatever it is, but keep it as natural as possible. So I have been able to, my son will be 10 in August. He's had antibiotics 3 times in his life. So try and keep things as natural as possible for as long as possible with them. Get them grounding, teach them how to protect their energies. So you can do this in a way by saying to them, okay, imagine that you're in a ball of light and anything that is not in your highest cannot get through. It will just bounce right off. Or imagine again that saying the same thing, but you're in a ball of mirrors maybe, and the mirrors are facing outward. So again, nothing can get through that's not in their highest. Teach them how to ground by taking their shoes and socks off and getting them walking on the earth. and allow them as much free time out in nature as they can possibly get. Give them as much lone time as possible. So as with all star seeds, I always say to them, what do you need, not what do you want? And when I say to my youngest, what do you need? Do you need a hug or do you need space? Do you need food or do you need water? Ask them what they need and they will tell you. So a lot of the time, these children, because they've taken on everything throughout the day, they need to be on their own to ground it out and just to be able to regulate their nervous system. So try and not fix things all of the time. Try and teach them how they can regulate themselves as well. If you've noticed like a little group of children that don't necessarily say anything, but they notice that something's wrong maybe with one of their classmates, they'll sort of group together and they'll tag team and they'll just go and sit next to that child. And then when that child is okay, they'll just pull away. That's one way of also noticing whether you have a starseed child or not. It will be that child that will go and help and support any children that are in need.